Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? I am, as promised, getting the Lely Juno, and I'm just putting the charging station down. So we're going to put that one over here. I've got the, the cattle have got quite a bit of feed in them now, and we've dumped a load of bales in here. I'll put more bales in here. We'll sort of just make a great big untidy heap, which is what it'll end up being. And we'll worry about that later on. So let me just come out of this screen now. I am combining over here. We've got the Tatras down here. We've nearly finished doing our combining. We've got quite a few beans into the lorry over there, into the truck. I've actually used the stayer and started doing some fertilizer spreading over on field 12. And the Valtra is on its way up to the top field with the new baler and the front-mounted mower. Before I go any further, my question for this week: which mixed feeder would you like me to get to feed our cattle with? We can get the trailed duo Siloking, which is 16,000 litres. We can get the self-propelled Siloking Selfline Compact, that is also 16,000 litre capacity. We can get the Keenan Mech Fibre 340, which is the smallest one that we have on offer. That one is a 12,000 litre capacity. And we can get the absolutely massive Peecon Mammoet, which is, 64,000 litres in capacity. In order to feed all of our cattle with. So, which one do you want? It's your vote, it's your game. Head into the comment section down below. Let us know which one you want and why. And, of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right-hand corner. Right. I will carry on doing this. The stayer, I think, has just finished doing the fertilizer spreading over there. I'll put it going over there in a little while. I'm actually going to go and get the Valtra now. We're going to carry on up to the top field so that we can carry on with some baling that up there. I would like you... Hang on, let me go and get the Valtra a minute. So we don't need to just sit and watch this one. Okay, we have our brand new baler here. So, yeah, what I'd like you to do is have a think about what you would like me to plant next, and I will start planting that at the beginning of next week. Do you want me to plant all of our fields the same? Or do you think I should do, again, what I did this time, have something different up on field 1 than we've got down at the bottom? And we've sort of... It's progressed a little bit, and now we're harvesting and planting all at the same time. It's a little bit inconvenient having the distances that we've got to travel between field 1 and the rest of the farm, but that's one of the things that we sort of wanted as a bit of a challenge for us to do, is to have some long distance travelling in between moving. So the logistics part of it is also a feature that we've got to take into account when we're doing our different tasks. Also, what else was I going to say? I'm sure there was something I was going to say. Yeah, I don't think we should plant the poplars just yet. I think we should wait a little bit longer before we do those. I think we should plant at least one more crop, because we've got to be able to buy the forager, and the forager that can take the poplar cutter is the most expensive one. I know that you can fit them onto the other ones, but they don't fit properly. They're not actually in real life designed to fit on those different foragers. It would sort of be a bit of a cobbled up job that wouldn't look very good. So we will go for the more expensive New Holland forager. And that's just kind of the way that I think that we should do it. So we've got all of those bales there. This field is not completely full, because we've been driving up and down it. We've sort of stunted the grass a little bit. I have leased this baler. This is the most expensive thing that I think we're leasing now. It's $10,000 that it cost me to lease. I have gone for a pale green wrap, because from where I'm from, a lot of bales these days are either in black or they're in pale green. It's very rare that you see snow white. I do often see pink around at the moment, and that's in large part, I think, because a lot of farmers, they wrap different bales from different fields in a different colour, so they're easily identifiable. But I don't think you can swap them round as you go with the baling on this one, so I didn't want to do it like that. So we've got this absolutely wonderful baler, and let me just switch to the extra baler. There we go. So we've got the wheels are up on the top there, if you can just see them there up the top, and when you press X to unfold it, oh no, I'm on the wrong one, there, X to unfold it, that just drops the wheels down there. There's nothing else that happens when you actually unfold this baler. So next we want to, well, we'll lower the pickup on it and we'll turn it on, but it doesn't look like you can switch off the wrapping, and I'm hoping that we can bale up some grass bales, because if we can't, it's going to be a bit of a nuisance. We can lift a pickup, change tool selection, auto delay, that's the other mod. So let me just switch over to the mower on the front, unfold that one, turn it on and lower it down, and then we go back to the baler, and we just go in a straight line. I really am hoping, right, so now it's accepted that it's got grass in it. I'm really hoping that it's not going to auto wrap just because it's got grass on it, because if it does, what it means is if we want to get a few grass bales, we are going to have to use a separate baler, and I didn't want to have to do that because I thought it would be a costly thing to have to do. So let's just whiz up across the field here, and once we've mown and accumulated a full bale's worth, we'll then be able to see. I'm going to unhitch the baler when we're right, it's bleeping at me. It should go to 4,000 litres for a standard bale. I'll switch over to the front a minute, switch off that one, lift him up. Basically, I don't want to be left with a load of grass just lying around because I've been turning the corner with the mower going. So let's straighten up again and put it back. Right. Now this is the bit that we're going to have to watch. Are we going to be able to make grass bales with this baler? I really hope so. I'm going to be a little bit disappointed. I was going to say bitterly disappointed, but it's not going to be the end of the world. Now, what's it going to do? Does it? It does. It auto wraps. There is nothing that we can do about the. You can turn off baler. No, that still auto wraps it. It wraps it in a very peculiar fashion. I've never seen anything wrap like that before. And right, so we got the auto unload delay, and then we press Y to unload it, and that'll drop the bale out the back. So we got a bale of silage, but we don't have a bale of grass rather. So in order to be able to get grass, we are going to need the other baler up here. So we're going to need, if we want to do bales of grass, we've got to sort of do a combination. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that mower off. Actually, I'll lower it back down again, and I'm going to unhitch it. I'm going to leave it right there. Let's just nudge that bale along a little bit. And we're going to head over to the straw, because the straw is what we need to bale up today. So if we go onto that one, it should just tip it straight out onto the floor. I'll lower it down and go on through there. Right, so nothing has changed on there, on the list of like controls that we've got. So this is just going to operate like a standard round baler when it comes to straw. I'm questioning the wisdom of using this thing. I really am. I'm wondering if perhaps we should have just used another one. Because they did say, yeah, and now it will allow us to just unload it. I remember them putting somewhere that it wouldn't bale up straw, it would just auto unload, but they didn't actually specify that it wouldn't wrap. You could choose for it not to wrap hay. So I'm hoping that at some point someone puts a little mod into the game that allows us to choose whether we actually have the wrapper running on this one, because it doesn't look like the default machine will let us do that. So if we want to have bales of hay, we can't use this baler to do it. This one will only do bales of silage or bales of grass. You cannot produce bales of hay with it by the look of it. At least that's what it would appear to be. Did we have a little bit of hay left in the field? Because I can't remember how much you've got to have in when it, it's, that it switches over to the next product. We could kind of like almost. I know it's a bit of a cheat, really. No, I'm not going to do that. We'll have to test this another time to see if we can do it with. Let me get rid of that screen up there. We will test this another time to see if we can do it. And what's the word I'm looking for? To see if we can make hay bales. See if we can make hay bales. So we know that we can't just do grass, and I would like to be able to do some hay. And partly the reason that they may have done this is because they have now corrected the mistake where you could put fresh grass into the mixed feeders that you weren't actually supposed to be able to do. Yeah. I do like the fact that we can choose where we unload this bale. So I can carry on along here, and then I can unload it if I want to. Leave that one going. while I'm running along. I mean, it's probably not very realistic, but at least it does sort of stop. But we are back to the old, yeah, round bale straw. Back to round bale straw, and it does mean that we've got to stop every time we make a bale, which is something that I'm not thrilled about. I was kind of hoping that this would be a continuous bale machine. We can have everything, I suppose. So if we just move on a little bit further, there we go. It does move the bale back very, very quickly. That is a little bit unrealistic. I think there should be a pause between finishing the bale and moving on to the next one. But there's not a great deal that we could do about that. I'm going to have a look on the forums to before next week to see if there is actually plans. You know, is it a mistake? Should there be an option on this one to not wrap if we want? Because having it auto wrap, it feels like it's lacking in a functionality there or a functionality that should exist. So now we've got 2 bales. I can actually dump off the 1 bale there and it'll pick back up. Immediately come to the next one. So put that one through. And I'll unload that one as well and push that one out. So we've got 2 bales right together. So we can do that. We can sort of group the bales up a little bit as we go along, which is, I think that's kind of a nice little feature that we've got with it. And I like the fact that we do have, you know, when we come to do silage, we will be able to make silage bales quite quickly and efficiently. But yeah, I am quite disappointed that we can't choose to turn that wrapping off. That feels like, it feels poorly thought out to me, not being able to do that. Anyway, there's not a lot that we can do about it. I think that I am going to have to go and do a whole load of this baling on my own. Although I am actually thinking that I don't like doing round baling on straw. I like the idea of doing round bales for silage, and I've asked you previously if you thought that I should do that. I'm starting to think that we should just do big square bales in here. I don't want to do small square bales because we don't have any auto collection feature for them. And an ordinary round baler is quite, well, whether we use an ordinary round baler or we use this round baler doesn't really make much difference when it comes to doing the straw. It's still that we've got to stop every so often to let the bales out, and that's the bit that I don't like. So let me get down to the end of the row. I will go and make sure that the rest of our farm is working correctly, and I will decide whether or not I am actually going to go and get a square baler to go alongside this baler, because this one is perfect for doing our silage, and yeah, it's great and all, but I'm not all that impressed with it, to be honest, at the moment. I'm really not. I'm just really disappointed that we couldn't make a grass bale and leave it as a grass bale. Anyway, I will see you in a minute when I've made up my mind about what I'm going to do. I couldn't resist it. I have come over here and I have cheated, and basically I made the bale almost complete, and then I've come over into this field. I'm just gathering up those tiny little bits of hay that were left over, and I'm hoping that there is just a couple of, yes, there is a little tiny bit over here. That should be enough, because it's actually turned the whole bale into hay. And if we can just get that, there we go. Now, is it going to let us have a bale of hay, or is it going to auto do it? Right, with hay we've got the choice. So grass, we cannot make a grass bale. But with this one we can unload the round bale, lift, pick up. How do we wrap it? Oh no! Right, so we've got no option to wrap this bale. We just got a bale of hay. Turn off baler and lift, pick up, unload round bale. There is no option to turn on or turn off the wrapper. So if you have it as hay, it comes out as hay. You can't wrap it. It's not an option to wrap it. If you have grass, it will auto wrap it as silage. So let's just make another bale of silage while we're up here. And I'm going to hitch on the mower on the front a minute. Start that one up. And we'll do one more bale of grass up here, and then I've decided that for the rest of the straw over there I'm going to use a square baler, because you don't want to watch me going up and down doing the baling with a round baler. and I don't particularly want to sit there and do it myself because of having to stop all the time. I really dislike doing that task. It's not something I enjoy. So as such, I'm going to do something that I do enjoy, and the regular baling is just fine. So we will get square bales and we'll put those down for the cattle as well, and we'll get these few round bales that we got kicking around up here. So we'll have a right collection of bales down there with the cattle, and I'm fine with that. I think that's actually a really good idea. We won't. I'm wondering if we should sell any of the straw that we're making here. So we just want to come down a little bit further. I could stop the mower now, actually. Turn that one off and lift it. Should be enough grass. There we go. Finish that one. Now this one is actually going to wrap itself, and we'll let that one wrap. And then as soon as that one is finished wrapping, we're going to unhitch this baler. I'm not sure where we'll leave it. I think we'll leave the baler up here, because this is our main grass field at the moment. So let me just unload that one. Oh no, I need to switch to the rear machine. There we go. So we unload that one, and I'll turn it off, fold it back up. That is our baling done with this baler. I'm going to go and get a square baler now. I realise that I'm using a lot of different balers. We've got a regular round baler if we wanted grass, but we're not actually going to need to use that regular round baler, because we can do plain grass with the square baler if we want to. I've just got to make sure that we don't actually do too much. So I'll keep the mower on the front, and we will do square bales for grass. And I'm just trying to think how many bales we should do. I reckon if we just take a look at our numbers here in the animals. Why am I going backwards? Right. For grass there, one bale will be more than enough. I think probably would be okay just tipping out the loader wagon that we've got. And then for the cattle, I reckon 3 bales. So all we're going to need is 3 bales of grass. That's all we need. And then we'll come over here into the straw, and we'll do straw bales for the rest of it. I suppose I could actually do some more small square bales, but there's only so many small square bales that I really want to do until we've got some way of being able to handle them a little better than we've got at the moment. So let's just unload that one there. He can stay there. And when we decide that we want to do a bit of silage, we will come back and we will use that one for doing all of our silage needs. But for now, we're going to go and get a square baler, because I just don't want to have to keep stopping to let every single bale out. It is something that I absolutely loathe and detest. So I will meet you in a minute when I have got a square baler. I'm going to find the cheapest square baler that is available, and that is the one that we will use. We're not going for anything fancy. We need something that is cheap so that we don't waste too much money. Of course, the first thing that we actually need to do is get this robot feeder down to the cattle, and I completely forgot about that one. So we're going to start driving this one down. I've seen other people do this, and yes, I could just pick it up on the tractor, which would be the sensible way of doing it, but I just wanted to see how long it's going to take us to drive it from here down to the cattle, because the cattle aren't that far away. Yeah, they're literally just over there, so it should be reasonable to drive it down there. Okay, this is going to take forever, isn't it? This is going to take absolutely forever. Right, I'm going to slowly make my way down there, and I'll let you know how long it took. The fact that this one fits up over the pavements, just like this, there, does make it a little bit quicker, because you can take little shortcuts. So far, we've only been about a minute. It's a lot quicker than I thought it would be. Probably be about another minute to just get down there to the bottom. And then we can set it going, and then we'll get our square baler up onto our straw. Right, all told, I think there's about 2 minutes to get from up there down here, which isn't too bad. I thought it would take longer than that. I've actually picked up a little bit of grass that was from when we were doing our small bale grass over there. So this one, we're going to have to set it up on a really long run up through here. We've also got to make sure that we set it up so that it's able to tip out correctly. So let me just try and get this lined up as straight as possible. I think that's about right. Come over that way a little bit, and I need to bring up the assistance on this. So where we got 2 sections there, 2 sections, so it's in the middle of this one. And what do we got? Change angle, stop engine, hire worker. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. We press Y to change the angle. We are going to need a big angle on this one. But what was the... I can't remember which... Left control, unload here. No, we don't want that. Hire worker. How did we get the... Oh, no, it's the indicators, wasn't it? Yes, the indicators. You had the indicators like that, which sort of gave you an idea of roughly how straight it was. So I think that is as straight as we can get. And this is it's going to be sort of fairly difficult to make sure that you get this absolutely spot on. Because if you do get this one slightly out, it's going to be quite difficult. It's going to sort of drift quite a lot. And that's not something we want. So we do that, and the angle goes up to 2,000, 3, 4, 5. Right, it goes up to 6,000. And I'm thinking that kind of distance... I mean, we haven't really covered very much distance at all in the other one. So if we go 5,000 on that angle... Let's move that up a little bit further. 5,000, we'll go for that. And then if I hire a worker, we'll see what he does. I'm hoping he will go right down to the end. It takes a little while for him to get going. And he's building up. 1. He does take his sweet time getting a move on, doesn't he? Right. Now that's going nicely. Let's make sure that he does stop at a reasonable distance down this end. But so far, so good. And he seems to be in a fairly straight line. So long as nobody touches it or messes around with it, it should be just fine. Come through to the castle. So we're now on 1,500 grass. How far out is he going to go? I tell you what, that's not a bad guess. He comes out a little bit, but really I think that's okay. We can live with that. Okay, right. I will go back to the Valtra and get a cheap baler, and I'll meet you back up the top. So the plan is to get 3 bales of grass. I think what we'll do is we'll get 4 bales of grass so that we do have just a tiny bit extra, and then we'll hit the straw in there. We've got a couple round bales of silage. We've got 1 round bale of hay over there, and I have gone for the case baler. It's one of the modded ones. I don't know if a case baler actually looks like this or not. It's probably just a simple reskin, and the case baler in real life looks different. However, I figured that as we're on a US map, case or the red New Holland would be the most suitable one. And as I've already got... oh, no, I need to unfold this one. As I've already got the red New Holland... No, there. The red New Holland... going on the time-lapse series, I figured that it would be better to have... Oh, we've got more growth coming through. It's amazing how quickly our growth stages are coming through here. We're on 5 times speed and normal growth. But it does surprise me just how quickly it comes through sometimes. So, yeah, we've got the red New Holland one on the time-lapse series. So I figured I would get you something a little bit different because you've already seen the red one. And this one is the only other one that seemed like it would be a viable option for a US map. And I do try to give you as much realism as I possibly can. I know that today we've sort of been a bit jumping around quite a bit, and we've just leased 2 balers for ridiculous amounts of money, and I haven't really done a lot with the other one. And for those of you who don't like that, I do apologise, but I really don't want to have to sit there and do round bale straw all the way up and down. It's not something that I enjoy, and I was actually hoping that that baler would be a continuous flow baler. So I was a little bit disappointed to find out that it wasn't. And as far as making silage, it's perfect. We'll use that to make our silage bales, and we're going to need to let this field grow completely. I'll probably have to bring up some, but maybe, I don't know, we'll try and throw a bit of fertilizer on here somewhere. It might allow us to put a bit on now that I'm running through with the mower. But I will do a full crop up here, and we'll do it all as silage bales, and we'll get those back down for the cattle, because the cattle are going to need a fair bit of silage. We've got this little bit of hay, and as soon as we start feeding mixed feed, we're going to need both hay and silage anyway. At the moment we've got you can put either silage or hay in for them, but you don't actually need to put both in. We're getting both. Well, we've got a couple bales, but yeah, it's the grass that's the important bit. So we're going to need this baler for getting grass, or we're going to need a forage wagon. And a lot of zero grazing methods on different farms, they use exactly this. They will use either a baler and just bale up the grass immediately, or they will run along and use a forage wagon and do it that way. I'm doing this very, very untidily and very sloppy. This field is looking an absolute mess. I would not normally do this in a field, and it does feel slightly wrong to me, I've got to be honest. So there's 2 bales. Actually, that's probably enough. I'll tell you what, we'll complete this bale here, and let me just lift the mower. That should be enough. Oh, no, my mistake. We got another 1,000 litres to do yet. I'll lift the mower now and turn round. We got a little bit left to come up, and we should just be able to plonk a couple of bales down there together. If I complete this bale now, right now, I'll lift the mower up and turn it off, fold it up. That one's done. We've got 2 bales in the baler. Switch over to the baler, turn that one off and lift, and then we can just unload it like this. So we got 4 bales of grass right here. There we go. Perfect. And now I can go and get started on the straw over here. I'm just going to leave this mower here. I don't want to have the mower on the front of the tractor while I'm running around. That would... Oop, no. I want to go here, lower that one down, and then unhitch. Perfect. I don't want to have a mower stuck out the front of the baler while I'm actually trying to do some work, because it could end up getting damaged. If I was to catch something with it, that would not be very good. I can at least give you that much realism. So, yeah. All these round bales, we'll dump all the round bales and square bales together down in the shed. I won't be able to pick them up onto the same trailer, but we got 2 auto-load trailers that we can do that with. And look at this. I've completed a bale and I haven't had to stop. This is why I love the square baler. This is what I really don't like about the round baler. It takes so long to make the bales. That is the bit that I really, really don't like about it. So for anybody that really doesn't like the fact that I've gone through 2 separate balers today, as well as using the small square bales last time, I apologise, but at the same time, I'm not sorry. Yeah, you know that thing, the sort of sorry not sorry type thing? Yeah, that's exactly what's happening today. I'm sorry not sorry. I'm sticking to my guns on this one. I do not want to have to do all of this straw as round bales, because it just takes so long to do it. And as I'm not filming it, I figure it doesn't really make a huge amount of difference. And yeah, so you can actually, that can be our topic of discussion for today. What do you think of all the different types of bales? Which one do you think that I should be using on this map? Are you happy with my choice of square bales for straw and round bales for silage, and then probably it would be square bales for hay as well? I think that's what we'll probably do. And it does give us a chance, if you'd like me to use the square bale wrapper a bit later on, I could always do that as well. I did use that in the time lapse, and I thought it was very cool. I was very pleased with that one. I did quite enjoy using that. And there's also a grab that we can use for picking up the square bales, so that we don't just use a straight auto load. So yeah, have a chat about bales today. I would love to hear all of your views on different bales and what you think I should or shouldn't be doing, whether you think today has been acceptable or you think I have pushed the bounds of what is reasonable to expect from a Farming Simulator episode. Also, what else was I going to say? Oh yes, how would you like me to collect the bales from this field? We've got some round bales and we've got some square bales. Would you like me to just use the auto load and run up and down the field? Would you like me to use the auto load and try and earn a bit of money and get the Manitou, so that we can start using that one and sort of do a combination of the two, so that we put the auto load but we got to bring the bales to it? Do you want me to get a Artisan and use an Artisan instead? Have a chat about it. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd really like to hear about all of that. Before I go any further, my question for this week is I have now got cattle and we need to feed them some mixed feed. So do you want me to use the Siloking Trailedline Duo, this one right here, which is 16,000 litres in capacity? Do you want me to use the Siloking Selfline Compact? It's a self-propelled one, also 16,000 litres in capacity. It can self-load its silage if the silage is clamped, but as we're not planning to have clamped silage for the cattle, it won't make much difference. The Keenan Mech Fibre, this is 12,000 litres. And finally, the Peecon Biga Mega Mammoet, which is 64,000 litres in capacity. A monster of a mixed feeder. It's your vote, it's your game. Head in the comment section down below. Let us know which one you want and why. And of course, don't forget to actually cast your vote in the top right hand corner by mousing over and clicking on the white circle with the little eye in it. If you've enjoyed this episode, please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar, goodbye and see you later.